If you love the stories of and the rest of the story, subscribe now. But to her, this silence was the only thing keeping her from shattering. "Maggie, are you sure about this?" her manager had asked the last time they spoke. "Yes," she replied firmly, though her voice trembled. I need to breathe, to figure out who I am outside of all this noise." The manager sighed on the other end of the line. "The world's going to notice. They're going to ask questions. They always do," she said with a faint smile, though there was little humor in it. "Let them wonder. Right now I have to take care of me." That was the last call she answered for weeks. The phone sat on her coffee table, untouched, notifications piling up like leaves in the fall. When Maggie was a little girl, she dreamed of being famous, not for the sake of fame, but because she loved to perform. Singing, acting, dancing, it all made her feel alive, like she was part of something bigger. But somewhere along the way, the joy of it had been swallowed by pressure. Every post had to be perfect, every interview polished, every move scrutinized by millions of strangers who felt entitled to her life. One evening, her best friend Clara stopped by. "Hey," Clara said gently, as she walked in, placing a takeout bag on the counter. "I figured you could use some company and some tacos." Maggie managed a small laugh. "Thanks," she said, sitting down at the table. They ate in comfortable silence for a while, before Clara finally spoke up. "You don't have to tell me everything," she said, "but I just want to know, are you okay?" Maggie stared at her plate, her appetite suddenly gone. "I don't know," she admitted. "I feel like I'm drowning. Like no matter what I do, it's never enough. And the more I try to please everyone, the more I lose myself." Clara reached across the table and squeezed her hand. "You don't have to please everyone," she said. "You just have to find a way to please yourself, to be happy. That's all that matters." That night, Maggie picked up a journal she hadn't touched in years. She started writing about her fears, her hopes, her dreams. She wrote about the little girl who loved to sing, who never cared about being perfect, only about being herself. It wasn't an overnight transformation. There were still days when she felt overwhelmed, when the world outside her door felt too loud and too demanding. But little by little she began to heal. When she finally returned to the spotlight, she did so on her own terms. "I've learned that it's okay to step back," she told a packed room during an interview, "to take time for yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup, you know." Her words resonated with countless fans who saw themselves in her struggles. Messages of gratitude poured in from people inspired by her courage to prioritize her well-being. But Maggie wasn't really her name. It was just a placeholder for a young woman who found the strength to choose herself over the expectations of the world. Today, the world knows her as Selena Gomez, a performer, an advocate, and a voice for those learning to put their mental health first. And now you know the rest of the story.